have noticed, MonsterVerse is moving up at full speed. Not only that, but the sequel to Godzilla vs. Kong is already in the works. But will they fight again? Audiences are aware that monster movie classics like Godzilla and King Kong set the bar for high kaiju battles. But the MonsterVerse has already presented its breathtaking versions of the iconic monsters, introducing them in the films Godzilla in 2014 and Kong Skull Island in 2017. And just like any other good cinematic universe, the two titans were meant for an epic battle. And in March 2021, Godzilla vs. Kong finally made it to some cinemas and HBO Max. In the middle of the pandemic, it delivered the much-needed blockbuster escapism, and it earned an amazing $460 million. Warner Bros. Godzilla vs. Kong was a huge box office and streaming hit, so it was only a matter of time until a sequel was confirmed. Obviously, the two largest and most beloved titans can't remain inactive for very long. Godzilla, the gigantic reptile with the atomic breath, will soon make a triumphant return to the silver screen. He will be followed by none other than Kong, ruler of the Hollow Earth. Godzilla and Kong work together to destroy Mechagodzilla with the help of the Blue Flamin' Battle Axe. Before Godzilla returns to the ocean and Kong settles into Hollow Earth as his new home, they each accept the other as worthy opponents. It is necessary to have a rematch of legendary proportions after Godzilla vs. Kong in 2021 ended in a tie. Godzilla vs. Kong 2's official release date hasn't been publicly confirmed. Although the Japanese Godzilla films have been established since 1954 and the American King Kong franchise have been around since 1933, this specific branch of the series first started in 2014 with Gareth Edwards' Godzilla. That movie started what is now referred to as the MonsterVerse, which gave rise to the Godzilla King of the Monsters sequel and Kong Skull Island prequel in 2017, before both clashed in the 2021 movie Godzilla vs. Kong. The film was an early pandemic-era box office triumph for the studio, leading to the fast approval of a sequel. The film, which will begin shooting later this year in Queensland, Australia, will also have an appearance by fan favorite minor kaiju Titanus Doug, a Hollow Earth lizard that was featured in the last film. Before we continue, we wanted to inform you that it's time for you to smash that like button if you haven't done it already. So it took anywhere from 2 to 3 years between each MonsterVerse film, and if Godzilla vs. Kong follows the same release schedule, the film won't be released until late 2024 or even 2025. Of course, the COVID-19 pandemic has made all scheduling difficult, so it may be a while before viewers get to see the Titans battle it out again on the big screen. But as we heard, the film will be released in theaters on March 15, 2024. And for the cast, we know that Dr. Eileen Andrews, a linguist who works for Monarch, will be played once again by Rebecca Hall, and that conspiracy theorist Bernie Hayes, and mute Iwi girl Gia, played by Brian Tyree Henry and Kaylee Hoddle, respectively, will also be reprising their roles. Also, scheduled to appear in the movie in undefined roles are some newcomers like Fala Chin, Alex Ferns, and Rachel Howes. Dan Stevens has been cast as the new human lead in Godzilla vs. Kong 2. Stevens is the only cast member currently associated with the sequel, though it is unknown exactly what role he will play. Even though it also addresses one of MonsterVerse's main criticisms, Stevens' involvement in Godzilla vs. Kong 2 is sure to be an exciting update for many. Similar to the Transformers films, viewers frequently thought the human characters in the MonsterVerse movies were kind of disposable and unnecessary. Stevens' human lead role in Godzilla vs. Kong 2 should help buck that trend in some way by giving the sequel a strong main character, and that can help whatever plot is used to unite Godzilla and Kong. Millie Bobby Brown is not on the official cast list for Godzilla vs. Kong 2, indicating that she will not reprise her role as Madison in the sequel. It is unknown if she will return at some point, but the actress's busy schedule is perhaps the main factor as to why she isn't, or it could also be that Madison's story has come to an end. Given how Godzilla vs. Kong ends with both monsters becoming as kings of their respective domains, Godzilla remaining the alpha titan on the surface, and Kong ruling as king of the Hollow Earth, the eagerly awaited Godzilla vs. Kong 2 is expected to be an epic showdown. they're returning in Godzilla vs. Kong 2 to finish their battle, which was actually left without a clear winner. Godzilla vs. Kong accurately portrayed the epic battle, so the sequel should be equally thrilling. Building on the mythology of the Hollow Earth, the director of Godzilla vs. Kong, Adam Wingard, proposed what Godzilla vs. Kong 2's story could be about. Wingard asserted that he thinks Hollow Earth Godzilla vs. Kong 2 exploration and explanation will shed more light on the origins of the Titans, their journey to the surface, and their motivation. He adds that there is enough mystery surrounding this setup from the earlier movies, and he, like the audience, wants to see those questions resolved. Of course, the plot of Godzilla vs. Kong 2 would have to revolve around Godzilla and Kong going head-to-head again. Dr. Nathan Lin believed Kong had won the battle in Hong Kong, but Godzilla had the upper hand and chose not to kill Kong. But after Mechagodzilla was finally defeated, Godzilla and Kong fought fiercely against one another before splitting apart. The conclusion of Godzilla vs. Kong suggests that each Titan can coexist without invading the other's territory. However, Godzilla vs. Kong 2 could easily pick up where the first film left off, either with Kong returning to the surface or with Godzilla entering the Hollow Earth, with the latter option being the most likely. This would allow Godzilla vs. Kong 2 to put an end to the long-standing conflict between Godzilla and Kong species. It was revealed in the final scene that Monarch established a base on the Hollow Earth world after learning about it. In the aftermath of the movie, other groups might also manage to find the Hollow Earth. In either case, human presence in Hollow Earth raises the possibility of a threat to Kong's new home, because it is impossible to predict what their actions will attract. Humans once lived in the area, but they all perished thousands of years ago. A dormant threat might become active if humanity returns to the area. If that occurs, Kong might have to protect the Hollow Earth from a MonsterVerse version of a well-known Toho antagonist like Gigan, Hedorah, or even Megalon. Depending on how dangerous this creature is, Kong may need Godzilla's help in cleaning up the mess the humans have made. A popular theory held that Space Godzilla was concealed within the Hollow Earth of the MonsterVerse after Godzilla and Kong appeared to join forces in a fight with a flying Godzilla-like Titan. If that were the case, there would be a chance he might become their next threat. If the theory is confirmed, it would have major impacts on the film and significantly add to the MonsterVerse mythos, while also offering a fresh perspective on what occurred during the Titan War. According to the theory mentioned earlier, the Titan War may have involved cooperating between the two opposing sides to defeat a common enemy, rather than Godzilla driving the Kongs out of the Hollow Earth, as was originally thought. That would mean Space Godzilla was the true antagonist of the prehistoric Titan War in the MonsterVerse. If that is indeed what happened all those ages ago, it's also possible that he started the war by tricking people into thinking he was Godzilla because of how much he resembles the monster. A compelling and suitable villain for Godzilla vs. Kong 2 could be created by you smashing that subscribe button and that notification bell, so you'll never miss any of our videos in the future. But seriously, it can be created by adapting Space Godzilla with this as his MonsterVerse backstory. A fight like this would give both monsters a chance to put an end to a conflict that has raged for thousands of years. See you in the next video.